Hello again, students. In this video, we'll be working on this figure known as a cone. We'll be finding the lateral area, surface area, and volume of the cone. Here on my formula sheet, I'm given all three formulas: lateral area, surface area, and volume. In the lateral area and surface area formula, we have pi, we have r, which stands for the radius, and then we have an L. This is not the length as it is in the prism. This L stands for the slanted height of the cone. Slant height. We also have the actual height of the cone represented by the letter H, which shows up in the volume formula. So L represents the slant height, H represents the actual height. Check out what the actual height, the slant height, and the radius of the cone create in this image. I see a right triangle. And anytime we have a right triangle, my mind goes straight to the Pythagorean theorem and right triangle trig. So I know those may be something I need to use throughout this process. Let's move back over and start working on our cone. Okay, lateral area formula is pi times the radius times the slanted height. Well, got to do a little work here. We are given the diameter of this cone as 10 feet, so the radius is half that value, 5 feet. We're also not given the slanted height. That's something we need to find. In order to find the slanted height, I'm going to have to use some kind of right triangle math. We're given the height. We now know the radius, and we're trying to find the slant height. Notice that the slant height lives on the hypotenuse of the cone. We know the length of the two legs, and we're trying to find the hypotenuse. I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. Leg number 1 is 5 feet. Leg number 2 is 12 feet, and we are trying to find the hypotenuse. Got my calculator ready to go. 5 squared plus 12 squared is 169. So 169 is equal to c squared. To solve for c, I need to get rid of the square. The inverse of a square is a square root. So I need to take the inverse of the square root of 169. The square root button on your calculator is located on the same button as x squared. You have to hit the control button first. The square root of 169 is 13. So our slant height value is 13. Now I'm ready to fill in the lateral area formula. Pi times a radius of 5 times a slant height of 13. Okay, anytime I'm dealing with pi, I need to find an exact answer and a rounded answer. 5 times 13 is 65, so my exact answer is 65 pi. And remember, we're working on area, so our units are squared. In order to get a rounded answer, we need to multiply 65 by pi. Our rounded answer is approximately 204.204 feet squared. Okay, next we're going to work towards finding the surface area of this cone. The surface area formula for a cone is pi r squared plus pi rl. Now guys, we just found pi rl. Pi rl is the lateral area of the cone. Pi r squared is the area formula of a circle. So we're saying this is the area of this base circle plus the lateral area of the cone. Radius is 5. Slanted height we already know is 13. First, I'm going to find my exact value. Well, 5 squared is 25. And we already found this exact value. It's 65 pi. 25 and 65 make 90. So my exact surface area is 90 pi feet squared. In order to find the rounded value, I'll need some help from my calculator. 90 times pi is approximately 282.743, still measuring in square footage since we're still talking about the area. That's our rounded answer. Our last calculation to make is the volume of this cone. The volume formula for a cone is 1/3 pi times the radius squared times height. 1/3 pi r squared h. We already know that the radius of the cone is 5, so 5 squared. And the true height of this cone, not the slanted height, the true height is 12. Okay, in order to get an exact value, I'm going to use my calculator and I'm going to type in everything except the pi. One-third times 5 squared times 12. 100. That's 100. I'm attaching pi back to it. And this is now a volume measure, so we're talking in cubic feet. Again, if you need the rounded value instead of the exact value, use your calculator and multiply 100 and pi. 100 times pi is approximately 314.159. Still working in cubic feet since we're talking about volume. Thank you for watching this demonstration about finding the lateral area, surface area, and volume of a cone. Our next video will be about this pyramid.